let's cover this up. And I think, you know what? I think it's like pretty much done. I feel like if I bake it, see, now I'm thinking as I go. If I bake it, the lentils will cook in the oven, correct? So I'm impatient. Let's just make our lasagna. It's Rose and welcome back to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another video. Today we are cooking together once again. Today I want to show you guys some really delicious recipes that are slightly lower calorie. So if you are looking to maybe lose a little bit of, fat or something, or if you're just looking for healthy options, this video might be helpful to you. And they're also still going to be delicious, of course. Okay, I don't believe in compromising taste, my friends. So I kind of want to make this into like a meal prep style video because we're going to be making kind of bigger portions so that you can eat these throughout the week. It's going to be really simple, really easy, so that you can just heat these up because we're all busy, we're all lazy, we don't want to be cooking every single day. So I'm very excited. We're gonna make some yummy food. I'm excited to have food for the rest of the week so I don't have to cook much. And yeah, let's get started. All right guys, so before we jump in, just letting you know that of course, as always, I will have a written blog post linked down below for your needs. So if you need the recipes and everything, it'll all be in the blog post, so check out that link. So the first recipe we're gonna be making is lasagna. You guys know I love lasagna and it really can be very healthy. So I wanna make a slightly lower calorie lasagna just with a few little tweaks. It's not gonna be that different. It's still gonna be filling and delicious. So here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of using fully like layers and layers and layers of lasagna noodles, we're gonna use a little bit less of the lasagna noodles and instead we're gonna add some zucchini. So we're gonna slice up the zucchini, make it all nice and thin, and replace some of the lasagna noodles with zucchini. Now, if you guys know me at all, I don't believe in fully replacing the lasagna, the pasta portion, because then if you just have zucchini, it's just a casserole, okay? So you wanna make sure that you still have some of that, lasagna noodle goodness. So we're gonna do that. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do 2 layers of the lasagna noodles, and in between we're gonna add in some zucchini, and I think it's gonna be delicious. So first I have the lasagna noodles here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pour some water in here just to let it soak in the water while we do everything else. I find that this works totally fine. I know that some lasagna noodles tell you to boil it and stuff. I've never done this because I don't have patience and you don't have to. So just let it soak in some water while you do everything else and then it should totally be fine. So that's sitting here. Okay, we're just gonna set that aside, my friends, okay? So now, protein, very important. Now, if you wanna make a meal last a little longer in the tummy, okay? Add a little bit more of the plant-based protein. It's gonna help you feel more satiated, more satisfied. So I'm actually gonna be using 2 different kinds of main protein sources in this recipe. One of them is going to be tofu. The other is going to be red split lentils. I have here 3/4 cup of red split lentils, dry red split lentils. I'm just gonna pour in some hot water. You don't have to measure it. I just like to pour in maybe double the amount. These lentils cook very quickly, the split lentils. So if you just let it soak in some hot water, it's gonna be pretty much ready to go. You just have to cook it for a little bit. That's my little hack. I'm just gonna cover this up with a little plate to let it steam and cook while again doing everything else. So we're covering that up. We're again setting this aside, okay? All right guys, so now that we have those things sitting, doing their job, okay, we're gonna make a sauce. We're gonna make it from scratch. We're gonna make a sauce from scratch. It's gonna be easy, don't worry, okay? So I have a wok here, okay? I'm gonna make lots of sauce, so we need a big wok situation. And I mean, you could use some oil, but let's keep that out because we're trying to keep this slightly lower calories, so there we go. I haven't done this in a while, so I might not remember how to do this properly, but you can, yeah, don't judge me. We have quite a bit of tomato paste. I believe this is a regular sized can of tomato paste. So we're gonna use that. And of course you don't have to make your own sauce, my friends. You can just buy some store-bought sauce, okay? So I'm just gonna add tomato paste. Now this is thick, guys, as you can see. So we're gonna have to thin it out with some water. So we're gonna do that. This is still kind of heating up. So we have here a a large amount of tomato sauce or tomato paste. I'm gonna make it pretty thin. I'm gonna add quite a bit of water because I'm gonna add lentils in here later. So we're gonna do 2 cups of water, which seems like a lot actually. So, okay, I might need to use a whisk. So I'm gonna gently whisk this in. Actually, you know what? We might need to add more water later. We'll see. There we And then to season, I'm just gonna use some Italian seasoning. Simple. This is just a mixture of, you know, basil, oregano, Italian style spices. Let's do 2 tablespoons. Woo. And I love adding a little bit of red wine. You don't have to, but I love doing it. I think it really enhances the flavors. So we're gonna do a 1/4 cup of red wine. This is just some like, you know, nasty wine that my roommate bought a while back, and it's just sitting here to be used for this purpose. So 1/4 cup. So we're just gonna stir this in, and then of course we gotta add some salt. We're gonna add some salt. How much salt do we need? Let's do a teaspoon of salt. Is that too much? Let's do 1/2 teaspoon, I'm scared. Remember guys, you can always add, but you can't subtract when you add it to a sauce. So, ooh, look at that. That looks good. So I'm gonna like let this kind of cook, I guess, a little bit. Not for too long, but we can prepare other ingredients as we wait. Okay, so next thing I like to add, again, you don't have to do this, but I find that this also enhances that sauce, you know, the taste, deliciousness. So I'm gonna add a couple of bay leaves while this cooks, okay? So you can just take these out after, and it really creates a nice, you know, aroma, you know? Let's mix this, and I think I need to cover this up, otherwise it's going to splash everywhere, and that's not gonna be pretty. So I'm just going to turn this down to kind of like a simmer mode, and then we're gonna cover this up. I'm gonna let it cook while, again, we prepare everything else. So let's just set this aside. All right, guys, so while our lovely sauce is cooking and everything is just kind of, you know, getting ready for us to put it together, we're gonna make the tofu ricotta. Now, you guys, I'm sure if you've been following me for a while, you're like, Rose, you make this every single day. Yeah, I do, and it's awesome. So definitely make it. It is so easy. It's oil-free. It is so delicious. I have fed this tofu ricotta lasagna to so many people, non-vegans included, and everybody loves it. Everyone's amazed that it's so simple, and it's also made with tofu. So what do you need? Very simple. Block of extra firm tofu. Okay, so just, yeah, simple block of extra firm tofu. I'm just gonna break it up very roughly and throw it into a blender or a food processor. I'm gonna use a blender today. Let's see what happens. I normally use a food processor, but I mean, we're gonna switch it up today. So yeah, just a block of extra firm tofu. Let's throw this in. Then we're gonna add the juice of 1 lemon. You can use just store-bought lemon juice, which is what I'm doing now. This is 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then we're gonna need 1/2 a teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon. And then we're gonna need a tablespoon of basil. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. And then guys, last but not least, we're gonna need a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, which is gonna give this a lovely cheesy flavor. So let's add that in. And that's it. That is it. We're gonna blend this up and it's gonna be delicious, trust me. So just be patient with it. If you need to scrape down the sides, then do that. But trust me, it's gonna be awesome. Okay, let's blend this up. Okay guys, so as you can see here, it's worked. Look at this. Trust me when I say you wanna try this. So I'm just gonna take it out. So if you don't have a really good blender, I would recommend, by the way, the red spots is just the sauce because I didn't wash the spatula. Whatever. It's all going in one lasagna. Anyways, so if you don't have a good blender, I would recommend using a food processor, unless you have like a good like high-speed blender. I do feel like food processors would work better if you don't have like a, you know, good blender. There we go. So not only is this going to provide that cheesy element, but it's also going to make this a lot more filling because it's full of protein. All right guys, so the tofu ricotta is ready to go. And now the final little thing that we need to prepare, well, not really final, but one of the final things, zucchini. So we're gonna make the zucchini like flattened lasagna noodles. You could also use eggplant if you want, but I'm gonna use zucchini. So we just wanna make it into kind of like, you know, lasagna-like shapes. Just flat, you know, doesn't really matter. I don't want to make them like too thin because I feel like it's gonna get too thin, you know? You still want that like nice crunch, you know what I'm saying? So I'm using 2 zucchinis, but you can, you know, go wild if you want to use more. I might actually use another one, we'll see. Clearly I'm not very good at making lasagna noodles. But yeah, the trick to, I guess, eating, you know, lower calorie meals is try to think of ways, not necessarily to take away things, but think of things that you could add in to make the meal more filling and satisfying, because, you know, you still want to eat till you're satisfied and full. And if you add tons of veggies into your meal, that's going to increase the volume of your meals, and that's going to increase your satiety. That's going to help you feel more satisfied. It's going to take you longer to eat. That's another thing. Okay, I'm going to use 3 zucchinis. Okay, I feel like we need 3. So I made a whole bunch of flattened zucchini lasagna noodles, but don't skip on the lasagna noodles, guys. Okay, guys, let's check up on the sauce. Ooh, that looks fabulous. It looks fabulous. Yeah, it's, you know what? Ooh, I'm gonna turn this down. So first, let's take out the bay leaves. It's been a while. It's been about 10 minutes. I think that's good. So now what I'm gonna do, let's add the red split lentils. First, I'm just gonna drain the water mostly. If there's a little left, that's fine. I'm just gonna add in the red split lentils. And as you can see, they've expanded quite a bit, and they have softened as well. So we're just gonna add that in. We're gonna let this cook until the lentils have completely cooked. At this point, they're probably still a little bit crunchy, but I'm assuming it's gonna take maybe about another 10 minutes, but let me give it a little. Well, the sauce is delicious. Let's cover this up, and I think, you know what, I think it's like pretty much done. I feel like if I bake it, see, now I'm thinking as I go. If I bake it, the lentils will cook in the oven, correct? So I'm impatient. Let's just make our lasagna. Turn this off. So we're gonna go back to our lasagna. Now I'm just gonna take the water out, like let's just drain the water. And now I'm just gonna take out the noodles, okay? The noodles. So I'm gonna use a ladle to just kind of put the sauce in. So the most important thing with like lasagna is like just make sure that the noodles are, you know, soaked in the sauce so that it cooks properly, okay? So we're just gonna do this, and I think it'll be fine. It's gonna work out, hopefully. I'm just gonna spread it. I'm always afraid of running out of sauce. That's always like my fear. And what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna spread the ricotta on each noodle. To me, that's easier than like trying to like spread it while it's on here. So we're gonna do a generous spread of our delicious ricotta for each layer of the lasagna, my friends. So this is a little bit more labor intensive than, you know, other recipes that I've made, but it's worth it, first of all. Second of all, if you're just eating it for yourself, this is like a huge meal prep for the whole week. So face up, okay, like so. So I'm just gonna layer it, and then I will see you after the first layer. All right, guys, so I did my first little layer. It's a little messy, but it doesn't matter because it's all gonna come together anyways. So next layer, what I wanna do is the zucchini layer. So we're just gonna pop it on, okay? It's easy, it's simple. Yeah, you're probably definitely gonna need 3 zucchinis for this. Obviously, this depends on the size of your pan. So we got a nice layer of the zucchini. And then I also wanna add more veggies because like I said, we wanna make sure that we add tons of veggies to this so that it's nice and voluminous, even though spinach is gonna wilt. So you can add other veggies as well if you want. Now, part of me wants to add a little salt, okay? Something's calling. The salt is calling me. I'm just gonna add a nice layer of salt, just in case, you know, you don't want it to be bland, okay? We're gonna do a layer of sauce now. This is gonna be interesting. Just a nice, you know, amount of sauce. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think we're good. I want to make sure that we have enough sauce for the last little bit. So there we go. We added that, and now we're gonna do another layer of our, all right guys, so now we're gonna do another layer of the zucchini noodles, whatever you want to call this. Just a layer of zucchini. Why do I need to call it noodles? I don't know. Okay. Now we're gonna do the final layer of the lasagna noodles with the ricotta, my friends. Okay? So we're gonna do another layer of the lasagna noodles with the ricotta, and then we're gonna top it with sauce, and it's gonna be fantastic. All right, guys, so as you can see here, we've got a beautiful lasagna ready to be sauced. We're gonna do the final layer of sauce, and this time you can just use up all the sauce, so be generous. And I think we're gonna have the perfect amount of sauce left. It is going to be so epic. This is so healthy too. Like, it's pretty much oil-free. Yeah, it is oil-free. Oil-free, full of veggies. We've got 3 freaking zucchinis in here, my friends. Tofu, very good for you. Oh my God. It's just all goodness, and it's gonna be so fabulous. Okay, so now for the final touch, I'm just gonna top with, this part is totally optional, by the way, you don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna top with a little bit of cashew parmesan, okay? Or you can top with some nutritional yeast, or you can top with some vegan cheese. I'm just gonna use cashew parmesan. We're gonna keep it simple. Look at that. Yum! You know what? Let's add some nutritional yeast too. Ooh. By the way, if you need a cashew parmesan recipe, I'll link my recipe down below. It's so easy. So guys, now the lasagna is ready to be popped into the oven. All we have to do is just cover this up with aluminum foil and then bake it for 30 minutes. And then we uncover, and then we bake uncovered for another 10 to 15 minutes. So that's what we're gonna do. Have it ah, have it ah, have it ah. So let's just cover this baby up. I'm so excited. Okay, let's pop it in the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Yay! All right guys, so the lasagna is finished and it's cooled down, and I think it's ready for us to do the honors. Okay, let's start here. Okay, let's cut this open. Let's see how it looks. I'm so excited. Ooh. Now I kind of want to get this piece. I'm afraid. I'm excited. Ooh la la. Ooh. How it look? Let's do another little. Ooh. I'm very happy with this so far. I haven't tasted it, but I think it's gonna be a good experience. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay guys, I'm gonna give this lasagna a try. I just messed it up already, of course, as I would. Layers are messy, but that's okay. Okay, we got a messy fork full here. Let's give it a try. The zucchini is cooked, a little bit crunchy, but it kind of adds like a nice, you know, difference in texture. So I actually kind of like the fact that it's crunchy, but if you want it like softer, I don't know, maybe cut it up into like thinner slices. But I'm messing it up, guys. And I definitely am gonna add zucchini into my lasagnas now because it's gonna bulk up the lasagna, add some extra veggies, and oh my God, I'm gonna have one more bite. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so full of flavor. You must try this, guys. It is so good, and I'm so excited to eat this week. Okay, give this a try. Okay, promise me you'll try it because it is delicious. It's super healthy, and it's amazing. Okay, sounds good. All right, guys. So while we wait for our lasagna to cook, you can actually make your dessert. Yes, so these are great to make in advance. Keep it in your freezer for a healthy little treat. And I actually made a little bit yesterday so I could show you guys the finished product because obviously it needs to like freeze and stuff. And oh my God, look how cute. Look at this, look at this. Oh my God, I know, they're so great. So this is super simple. It's gonna be like 3 to 4 ingredients depending on what you wanna add. And it's just a much healthier snack. If you are craving like a frozen treat, it's gonna be awesome. So let's make some. All right guys, so the first ingredient we're gonna need, frozen banana. I always keep some bananas in the freezer because they're great for smoothies and stuff. So we're gonna do 100 grams of frozen banana. That's gonna be around 1 banana, okay? Ooh, it's going to be 122. Let me just cut it. I mean, it probably doesn't have to be like very specific. 103, that's good. And then we're also gonna do 50 grams of frozen strawberries. Let's throw that in. So 50 grams of frozen strawberries, and then the next ingredient, vegan yogurt. Yes, my friends, I know. I'm using it all the time now. So you can actually use plain vegan yogurt, or you could use like a sweetened vegan yogurt if you want to use like a vanilla or like a strawberry, something like that. Totally up to you. If you use a sweetened one, of course, it's gonna be sweeter, so it's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna use a plain one, and then I'm just gonna add a little sweetener into it so that it's a little bit sweeter, okay? So because what I find, I actually made these without any sweetener, and I just used these 3 ingredients, and what I found was that it's like when it freezes, it becomes like less sweet. So I do recommend adding in a little sweetener, or you can use a sweetened yogurt. So we're gonna do 200 grams of vegan yogurt. I'm using plain. Almost there. I love like plain vegan yogurt. Anyways, so again, okay, because we want to make it sweeter once it freezes. Like if I just blend it like this, it actually tastes really great. But again, when it freezes, it becomes less sweet. So I'm actually going to use a little syrup. This one I like because it's slightly less in calories. So for 1 tablespoon, it's only 10 calories, which is great. So I'm just going to add, maybe I'll do 2 tablespoons. So we're going to do, yeah, this is the one I'm using, Ed Smith syrup. Yeah, I like this syrup. Again, I don't use it all the time, but it's good if you sometimes want like a lower calorie sweetener. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons, which is only 20 calories. Awesome. And of course you can use whatever other sweetener if you want. Oh. All right, now we're gonna blend this. All right guys, so we have blended this lovely concoction, and oh my God, try not to eat all this right away. But you can, like you can literally just have this. It's a lovely smoothie. It's so good. It tastes like, I don't know, like Yoplait. Oh my God. And you could just eat it like this. Like genuinely, you could just have this like as like a yogurt snack or like a smoothie. But you can also make it into little popsicles. It's so good, guys. Oh my God. So let's just pour this into this popsicle maker thingy, which I got from the dollar store, my friends. Okay, it was like $2. Go to the dollar store, get one of these, make these. And yeah, again, if you freeze them, it's gonna get less sweet, so make sure you add some sweetener. Oh my God. And then all you have to do, guys, is just pop it, freeze it, and then they'll be ready to eat. And then what I found was like, in order to take these out, you just like run it under, like run this part under some like water, like some warm water, and then you should be able to take them out. And it should look something like this. It's gonna be fabulous, it's gonna be great, and I hope you guys try these out. All right, you guys, so we're gonna do the 3rd recipe, and this is gonna be a baked tofu kind of quinoa bowl. I wanna make this into kind of like a nourishing, delicious bowl, and it's gonna be great. So first I wanna make kind of like a crispy tofu situation, but you can bake these or air fry these. And I'm gonna try to make it without any oil. Let's see what happens, okay? So I have a block of extra firm tofu here. I'm just gonna cut it into like, you know, like bite-sized cubes, not too small, but also not that big. That is not a helpful description at all, but you guys can kind of see. Ooh. And again, this might be a little bit, you know, little labor intensive, but remember that you can make these as a meal prep for the week. So we got the tofu. So now I'm just gonna put the tofu into a bowl. And now I'm going to add some coconut aminos, okay? So you can do soy sauce as well, but I like coconut aminos because it has that sweetness in it already. I'm gonna start with 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna see how that looks. I think it'll be fine, but I might wanna add another tablespoon. Make sure it's nicely coated. I think it looks fine. So we're gonna leave it at that. You can add more if you like things a little bit saltier. All right, guys, so now I have here some cornstarch, which is hopefully gonna make this tofu crispy. And I also have a tablespoon of garlic powder. So we have a tablespoon of cornstarch, tablespoon of garlic powder. I'm just gonna mix this up really quickly. Let's get that nicely mixed. And then I kinda wanna just like toss it into the tofu, okay? So let's just, there you go. So So we have the tofu. That's pretty much it. It's just like, you know, tofu and then 3 other ingredients. And now I'm gonna I'm gonna put it into the air fryer and hope for the best, okay? So I have an air fryer here. And again, you can use an oven. You just have to probably bake it for a little bit longer. Just make sure that your tofu pieces are not touching and they are all separate, okay? That's very important. Lovely. Again, if you do want them a little bit crispier, slightly meatier, you know, you could squeeze them like, or what's the term? Press them. You can press them, guys, if you want. But I get really lazy and I like never press my tofu, okay? And it's gonna be fine if you don't. 10 minutes, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'll check up on it. What I love about air fryers is that they don't need any preheating. That's one of my favorite things. Let's go. Okay, let's prepare other things. All right, guys, so now I wanna make the quinoa. You can use brown rice, whatever grain you want, but I'm gonna use quinoa today. And I think it would go really well with this bowl. So I'm gonna make 1 cup of quinoa, 1 cup of dry quinoa, I should say. So for this one, I'm just doing 1 cup of dry quinoa and 2 cups of water. And then I'm just gonna do a little pinch of salt. Okay? And then you can add some water. So I'm doing 2 cups of water. We're gonna bring this to a boil and it's gonna take about 15 minutes to cook. And then we can prepare other things as we do this. All right, so tofu is cooking. Quinoa is cooking. Now I wanna prepare some veg. And I also wanna make some butternut squash. So butternut squash, very, very low in calories. It's delicious, and I feel like it's gonna go really well with this bowl. So I just wanna kind of throw it onto a pan, and I just wanna bake it. Now, you can also air fry this as well, but my air fryer is going, and it's all complicated, so we're gonna throw it in the oven, and yeah. So you can air fry it or throw it in the oven, it's up to you. So yeah. Then we're gonna also do just some broccoli. I already have some chopped broccoli here. I'm just gonna throw it straight onto the baking pan. I'm just gonna spray a little bit of oil. So let's just like, you know, just a few little spritzes. So you don't wanna do too much oil if you're trying to, you know, watch your calories, because oil is very high in calories. And then you can just season however way you want. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt. I feel like the butternut squash doesn't need too much seasoning. A little salt, maybe a little garlic powder as always, okay? On the broccoli. So we have here the butternut squash and the broccoli mixture. I'm gonna throw this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna bake it for, I don't know, like, let's start with, you know, 10 minutes and see how it looks, okay? There we go. Beautiful. And now the tofu has finished the first 10 minutes, so let's check up on that. Oh my, look at this. Ooh, okay, so what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm going to flip. Do I even need to flip this? Maybe I don't need to flip this. Maybe I just need to bake it for another, you know, little bit. Maybe I should have added a little oil on the pan. You know what, I'm not gonna touch it. I don't think I need to. So I'm just gonna switcheroo these. And then I'm gonna bake it for another 10 minutes, and then I think it'll be good. Maybe not even 10 minutes, it might just need another 8 minutes. Let's do another 8 minutes, woohoo. And then by the time, I feel like once it gets crispy enough, it won't stick to the pan as much, so it'll be fine, okay? So I'm not gonna flip, but you can if you want. If you're gonna flip, put a little oil on the pan situation. So we're gonna go back to 400 degrees. We're gonna do another 8 minutes. And let's see what happens. Okay guys, so for the final little step, we're gonna make a sauce, because you gotta have a nice sauce to go with your bowl, okay? We're gonna make a simple sauce. We're doing a little peanut butter concoction, and I've been really into PB2 lately. So this is powdered peanut butter. So basically this is less calories, less fat than regular peanut butter. Now some people are against this. So if you're against it, you can use regular peanut butter. It's totally up to you. But if you're watching your calories and you still love peanut butter, this is a great thing, especially if you're making it into a sauce. I find that if you are having it on like toast, then regular peanut butter is definitely better. But if you're making a sauce, PB2 works really, really well. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of the PB2. This is basically just peanut butter with like the fat extracted from it. I don't really know how it works, but yeah, it's great if you love the flavor of peanut butter, but you go a little wild sometimes with the peanut butter jar, okay? So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna add some apple cider vinegar, okay? Let's do 2 tablespoons. No, 1 tablespoon. Let's start with 1 tablespoon. Ooh. Let's do 1 tablespoon of water. If you can tell, I'm winging this as always. We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of coconut aminos once again, or you can use soy sauce. We're gonna do half a tablespoon of garlic powder. We're gonna do half a teaspoon of ground ginger. I love putting a little bit of ground ginger, or just ginger in general, into like a nice sauce. So good. And then we're just gonna mix it. I'm just gonna use this teaspoon. And the good thing about the coconut aminos and the PB2 is that it's slightly sweet. So that's why I'm not really adding any sweetener, but if you want, you can also add a sweetener. But I feel like this is gonna be good enough, and as you can see here, it's lovely. Let's do sriracha. We're gonna do just a free pour, maybe about a tablespoon of sriracha, yay! This might thicken up over time, just add a little bit of water at a time. If it does, keep this in your fridge, throw it onto your bowls. Super simple, really easy, and there you go. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes in the oven. I think I need another 10 minutes, but I'm just gonna give it a nice little toss. Ooh, the broccoli looks lovely. Okay, I should have just made that whole bag of butternut squash. So we're gonna throw it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Okay guys, so my air fryer has told me that we are finished with the tofu. Let's see. Let's see if my air fryer is correct. Ooh, nice and crispy. Look at that. It's so sad how it just shrinks in size. Oh. And then, do I want to do this? There we go. A few came off. You can be patient and let it, cool a little bit. No oil, guys. Okay, I'm gonna wait. But let me taste it. Let me taste one. Lovely. Let's make our bowl. All right, you guys, so finally we are ready. We have all of these different ingredients, and once again, you can keep these in like separate containers and make, little bowls throughout the week. It's totally up to you. I think this is a great way to meal prep. We've got the protein, we've got the carb/protein from the quinoa, we've got some butternut squash, we've got some broccoli, the veggies, and then we have some delicious sauce. So let's put it together. Let's put it together in a lovely bowl. Start with a lovely scoop of the quinoa. Oh, broccoli. I think it's one of my favorite vegetables, the broccoli. And I do wish I just made the whole thing of butternut squash because it doesn't turn out to be too much. So you can also make butternut squash like from scratch. It seems a little mushy. And of course, we gotta have the tofu, okay? Oh. Oof. Tofu, there you go. And now we can add our sauce. That is a glorious bowl. And there you go, guys. Super simple, super easy. If you want to make this higher in volume, again, add some greens on the bottom, maybe some spinach, maybe some kale, whatever you want to do. Add some more butternut squash if you want. But there is the delicious crispy tofu bowl with quinoa, with butternut squash, with some broccoli, and a delicious peanut sauce. And that's how you make it. Alright guys, so of course, we gotta do the taste test. I mean, of course we do. So I wanna get a little bite of everything. I mean, the broccoli, I can't hear. Boop. Here it is. Let's give this a taste, okay? Oh my god. So good. One more bite. The tofu is really good. And I feel like it could be, you know, kind of a base for a lot of different things, a lot of different dishes. And you can make it crispy without using any oil at all. Okay? Oh my god, one more bite. I'm in heaven. The sauce is really nice. It's spicy, okay? So if you don't like spice, don't add the sriracha. Anyway, that's that. That was delicious. I'm very happy. All right, you guys, so that is it for my kind of meal prep, lower calorie meal ideas video. I hope you took something out of this. If you enjoyed this video, of course, give it a big thumbs up. And guys, once again, all of the recipes are written down below in a blog post, so check out the blog post. And guys, if you are new here, what are you doing? Don't forget to click the subscribe button. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.